Imagine someone telling you that your inability to pick a single career lane is actually brilliant.
Yeah, that a totally chaotic resume full of random jobs is a powerful weapon.
Those scattered hobbies are your ultimate defense against the AI economy.
It completely flips our traditional understanding of professional success. I mean,
Yeah.
we spend decades idolizing hyperspecialization, right?
We really did. But the ground is rapidly shifting today. Welcome to the deep dive. We are exploring a truly fascinating guide today by Max Ann.
Right. It is called the LNAIM test, building a multi-interest career in the AI era.
So if you ever suffer from resume shame, this is absolutely for you. Our mission here is to totally rethink career advice for this new world.
Exactly. Because we are looking at a massive macroeconomic shift right now. AI easily automates the predictable middle of modern knowledge work.
Meaning the highly routine, everyday tasks.
Right. Summarizing dense information, drafting initial marketing content,
Yeah.
processing massive data sets.
The exact stuff that historically trained junior corporate employees.
Yeah, exactly. The World Economic Forum actually predicts 85 million jobs displaced by 2030.
Oh, wow.
Up to half of current work activities face immediate automation.
That is a staggering displacement. You
Yeah.
know, I have a vulnerable admission here. I still wrestle with this scattered feeling myself sometimes.
Wait, really? You do?
Yeah, I juggle 5 different passions. I sometimes wonder if my attention is just fundamentally broken, like I am wasting my productive years.
Well, Max makes a crucial distinction for that exact feeling. There is a huge psychological difference between being scattered and being unsorted.
Unsorted. How is that different from scattered?
Scattered means you just endlessly start projects and abandon them, like
Yeah.
drifting from one quick dopamine hit to the next.
Right. You never finish anything.
But unsorted means you are collecting deep, substantial human experiences
Yeah.
that just, have not revealed their underlying structural logic yet.
It is like
Okay.
stacking Lego blocks of data without the instruction manual.
Perfect analogy, yes. Those unique combinations are exactly what algorithms struggle to replicate. AI trains on historical data siloed within very specific domains.
It cannot spontaneously merge 2 entirely distinct human disciplines together.
No, it really cannot. Like a software developer who also understands frontline crisis negotiation.
Okay, let us unpack this. For decades, we were told jack of all trades, master of none was a bad thing. Are generalists really safer now than technical masters?
Yes, because language models predict the next logical word based on historical patterns.
Yeah,
They cannot generate the biological intuition required to smash unconnected industries together.
got it. So mixing unrelated skills builds an automation-proof barrier.
Precisely. Which brings us to the actual shape of successful modern careers. The illusion of the perfectly linear LinkedIn profile is totally toxic.
We suffer incredible resume shame comparing ourselves to those clean timelines.
Right. We hide the messy reality of trial and error. But those messy pivots are actually structural advantages now. We used to praise the traditional I-shaped career model.
The I shape. One incredibly deep, narrow pillar of technical expertise.
Exactly. But if a new algorithm automates that one isolated pillar, you have absolutely no lateral support. You just structurally collapse.
You just fall over. That makes total sense.
So that severe vulnerability is driving the shift toward M-shaped careers. You build 2 or more genuine areas of deep expertise.
And they are bridged by highly transferable skills, like complex problem solving.
Right. If one pillar takes a hit, the other absorbs the shock. Innovation relies entirely on this kind of structural recombination.
Taking old established ideas and putting them next to new neighbors.
Yeah, the modern smartphone perfectly demonstrates this mechanism. It did not invent the camera or the telephone.
It just forced them to share the exact same physical space.
Exactly. Look at Jeffrey Hinton from the source material. People widely consider him the grandfather of modern artificial intelligence.
Right.
But he did not start his career in computer science.
Whoa, wait, he started somewhere else.
Yeah, he was rooted deeply in experimental psychology. He studied how actual biological human brains process new information.
That is wild.
He took that completely foreign framework and applied it to machines. He asked if code could mimic our biological neural architecture.
So his psychological background directly sparked the deep learning revolution.
Exactly. Industry outsiders are not paralyzed by legacy assumptions. They bring completely foreign frameworks to deeply entrenched, stale problems.
So combining completely different fields actually creates massive technological breakthroughs.
Yes, but there is a terrifying flip side to this dynamic. What happens to the people who go too deep too early?
They get stuck. It is like looking at a finished skyscraper. You assume the scaffolding looked just as neat.
Right. Deep expertise often solidifies into a dangerous cognitive blindfold.
Hmm.
The Nokia business case perfectly illustrates this specific failure.
Right. They completely dominated the global mobile phone hardware market.
But when the iPhone debuted without a physical keyboard, they laughed. They reportedly dismissed the new device as a fragile toy.
Their absolute mastery of physical hardware made them intellectually blind.
Exactly. When you master one specific system flawlessly, your perception narrows. You judge every new paradigm through the lens of past success.
You become incapable of recognizing a completely new set of rules.
This directly ties into David Epstein's concept of kind versus wicked worlds.
Ah, yes. Kind environments have highly stable rules.
Right. Clear feedback loops. Think of mastering a golf swing or playing competitive chess. Hyper-specialization is incredibly rewarded there.
But the AI economy of 2026 is a violently wicked environment.
The rules shift constantly and without warning. Competitors deploy completely new generative models overnight. Your feedback loop becomes incredibly muddy.
In a wicked world, rigid optimization makes you brittle.
Right. Roger Federer played wrestling, skiing, and basketball before professional tennis. He exposed his nervous system to vastly different physical constraints.
He built a broad physical vocabulary instead of running one algorithm. So what does this mean for you, the listener? What if you just spent 5 years specializing in a kind environment and AI is rapidly making it wicked?
You do not carelessly discard that hard-won core technical skill. You treat it as an anchor while cultivating a new adjacent discipline.
So you use your deep expertise as a base for new skills.
Exactly. Keep the core strength, but add new skills for flexibility. But not all passions play nicely together in your schedule.
Right. Some are jealous roommates fighting fiercely for your cognitive bandwidth.
Yeah. So how do you know which distinct interests actually compound together? Max designed the Elling-Ake test to measure this hidden synergy.
It uses 4 diagnostic questions, LINK. Let us test a messy, real-world scenario right now. Say someone is obsessed with music production and corporate logistics.
Perfect. We start with L for language.
Oh.
Do you borrow vocabulary from one domain? Do you discuss the rhythm of a supply chain?
So shared language means they rely on similar mental architecture.
Yes. Next is I for improve. Does getting better at music naturally elevate your logistical planning?
Maybe arranging complex audio tracks improves your ability to organize moving parts.
Exactly. You cross-train your brain without extra corporate modules. And as for need, do you explicitly cross-pollinate tools?
Like using audio sequencing software to visualize logistical timelines.
Right. The connection becomes deeply structural.
Right.
And K is for kill. This is the brutal stress test.
Okay, what is the stress test?
If you completely stop producing music, would your logistics career suffer?
If dropping the hobby changes nothing, the structural link is weak.
Right. The guide mentions a Zen monk who operates a tech startup. Those sound like completely contradictory paths.
They really do. They seem like they would compete for daily focus.
On the surface, yes. But they score incredibly high on synergy. The monastic training physically improves his autonomic emotional regulation.
That cultivated detachment is absolutely critical during hostile corporate board negotiations.
Exactly. If he stops meditating, his nervous system crashes during high-stakes pitches.
He burns out rapidly and makes highly reactive decisions. But what if I run the test on 2 things I love, like accounting and painting, and I score a complete 0? Do I ruthlessly abandon painting?
A 0 score just means they aggressively compete for your bandwidth. You cannot force them to compound. You must aggressively compartmentalize them.
Okay, so conflicting hobbies just need strict boundaries to survive.
Yes. A low score does not mean murdering the hobby. It just needs a different job description.
Yeah.
We must stop forcing every single hobby to generate financial profit.
Thank goodness. That is exhausting.
It really is. The sorting hat framework prevents this toxic modern hustle culture burnout. It assigns every interest you have one of 4 specific jobs.
Okay, what are the 4 jobs?
Job 1 leverages your established strengths. You possess a natural advantage here. Job 2 focuses entirely on stability.
This is your reliable income source. It consistently pays your rent.
Right. Job 3 secures your optionality. This is huge. It might not pay a single dime today, but it opens doors.
Like spending weekends learning Python while working in digital marketing.
Exactly. And Job 4 provides crucial restoration. What activities actively repair your mental health? If a hobby fails all 4 categories, pause it immediately.
That relieves the immense psychological pressure of trying to do everything.
It does. And this naturally introduces the concept of a cognitive vesting schedule.
Oh, treating our diverse hobbies exactly like startup equity options.
Yeah. Think about the harsh cognitive tax of learning a new language. You begin in the demanding investing phase. It requires deliberate effort.
Your brain actively forges brand new neural pathways from scratch. It is completely exhausting.
But eventually, you cross a critical threshold of unconscious competence. You enter the harvesting phase where the skill fully vests.
Like playing your acoustic guitar for 15 minutes just to decompress, you are no longer grinding to become a rock star.
Right, you are simply collecting the psychological dividend from your previous labor. You enter a restorative flow state.
Diversifying your mental energy instead of your money protects against burnout.
That is a perfect summary. You allocate your cognitive assets across different risk profiles. And the ultimate payoff for this strategy is empirically profound.
We actually have compelling data from a massive Michigan State University study.
Yes, researchers meticulously tracked 773 Nobel Prize winners over a century. Elite scientists were vastly more likely to practice the fine arts.
They pursued fiction writing, contemporary dance, and even performing stage magic.
Right, these bizarre side quests are not just frivolous weekend distractions. They systematically cross-train the brain to recognize highly abstract patterns.
Studying stage magic teaches a physicist how human perception is manipulated. It builds a wildly diverse internal reference library.
Exactly. And as you explore these varied interests, a hidden structural thread emerges. You realize your core skill is not actually coding or marketing.
It might be translating complex constraints into simple narratives.
Right. Once you identify that thread, your messy career history makes complete sense. Those random pivots were just necessary seasons of data collection.
The guide references a beautiful Taoist philosophy called the uncarved block.
A raw, untouched block of wood possesses infinite structural potential.
But the very second you carve it into a wooden chair, its destiny narrows. It can never become a table.
Specializing too early carves your professional identity into a rigid shape. The automated global economy already has plenty of predictable chairs.
It desperately needs highly adaptable painter engineers and psychologist product managers.
Yes, corporate hierarchy relies entirely on predictable, easily replaceable human cogs. An uncarved block represents unpredictable complexity.
Unpredictable complexity breaks their rigid system of standardized corporate control.
Exactly. Your messy, multifaceted complexity is actually your ultimate baseline job security.
So keeping our potential raw and uncarved is the ultimate AI defense.
Yes, exactly.
This has been an incredible deep dive. The old industrial world heavily rewarded picking one predictable lane early.
Right. But this new algorithmic reality rewards rapid pattern recognition and fluid adaptability.
By rigorously applying the link test to see what naturally compounds and using the sorting hat to protect your energy, you are not falling behind.
You are systematically building an entirely new shape of modern expertise.
So, we want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over today.
Yeah. If the future belongs to those who can connect the unconnectable, think about your own life. What are the two most unrelated, bizarre skills you currently possess? And if economic survival forced you to combine them tomorrow morning, what entirely new industry category could you invent?
Keep those scattered puzzle pieces on the table. You just might find the edges.